98 Not Out, sponsored by Shepherd Neame, proud supporters of cricket in Essex.
Very pleased to say joining us on the line, it's a great friend of the show, Mr. Don Topley. Don, how are you?
Very good, thank you. In this gorgeous sunshine, I trust you're all well.
How short are the shorts, Don?
They're short.
So anyway, you're out in the garden. Have you been doing a bit of flower arranging? And
No vegetable growing, nothing like that today. I've been watching the cricket and probably, listen, it's been good to see England ODI back, but it hasn't been an entertaining game. It's been a bit dull. I'm not saying we're coasting. We're now 3 down. We've just lost James Vince to a beautiful 25, well, England will coast this, I'm sure.
yeah, I was wondering earlier on if they were going to need the floodlights at one stage, but Ireland did sort of get themselves back into it after a rocky period when they were 60-something for 7 when I looked at it, but to get up to where they got was a decent effort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, Ireland didn't bat very well. I think England bowled quite well, but Ireland just didn't play England very well, and if that would have been at Billericay, your beloved Billericay,
yeah,
I'm sure there would have been naughty boy next tomorrow.
Absolutely. We were talking earlier on about, had Rees been involved in this game today, that there would have been quite an interesting dads and lads bit of trivia going on with Johnny Bairstow playing, with David Willey.
You're not going to do the joke again, are you?
No, I'm not. I did it on the phone with him earlier anyway. And Rees, son of Don. That would have been, I think, to have had 3 in the same side might have been quite interesting, and maybe a first.
Well, no, 4. Curran.
Oh, yes.
There would have been 4 professional cricketers in the England team that would have had fathers who had careers within the game. So, yeah, Rees Topley, Johnny Bairstow, Tom Curran and David Willey. And I think that would have been a first in England to have had 4 England players who had dads who played professionally the proper game.
Could happen next game.
Yeah, exactly.
Don, some good news. You're back on BBC commentary, aren't you, from Saturday?
Yes. Delighted to be back after my, I suppose we'll just call it an enforced sabbatical.
Poetic justice.
But I am so looking forward to doing it. BBC Essex will be commentating on every game throughout the Bob Willis Trophy and the T20. And it's probably, yours is a cricket programme loved by cricket fans. And I think this is probably one of the great services that the BBC does in offering online commentary all the way through the cricket season.
Yeah, it's good, and obviously
they
it's
wouldn't
not
let
just
us near a commentary next time, I'd say.
it's not just Essex. You cover every single game. We've got another wicket in the cricket. Banton's gone.
Ooh,
every single game in the professional season is live on the radio.
And it's excellent because it goes through You can either go through the BBC Cricket website, but it's also on live events if you've got tune-in radio, haven't you? And you can get it here that way as well.
That's right, online. Some of the other counties actually do it on medium wave, but they do updates as well. It's on the app, on the tune-in. It's a great service, especially for a cricket fan. I mean, it really is. There's convivial chatter, and your listeners actually do know one or two of the commentators.
Is it the same team? Is it the same team? You haven't got any new faces this year?
No, same old faces.
Same old young faces.
The face for radio.
We've had Dick, and he's wonderfully attractive. He's one of those older men who's, I'm sure the young ladies swoon at his feet.
Oh, I'm sure. Listen, Dick is you've got Paul Newton, who's an academic that knows the answer to everything, and he's never wrong. Dick can hold a chat about anything, and of course we do talk about the cricket, but as you know, cricket, you do digress, you go off at a tangent, and it's great to learn about all kinds of things. We have gardening problems, health problems, all kinds of things happen on it.
Sartorial problems?
Who? What did you say?
Sartorial.
Well, yes, absolutely. Are you wearing socks today?
No.
I think young Brett should actually ask about the day you were asked to exit the Lord's Pavilion.
God, what a shameful episode that was.
So embarrassed.
Did you take him as your guest?
I
was there on my own merit.
I was guilty because I was associated with him, but I'll leave that for another day.
You weren't that guilty when I reappeared in a £25 pair of MCC socks and a lovely chilled bottle of Bollinger.
Yes, no, I absolutely...
You didn't mind sharing that.
I mean, to be honest, to drink Bollinger, you must wear socks.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So Don, what do you think, what do you make of these new playing conditions? To reduce injury risk, there's a minimum of 90 overs instead of 96. Yeah. First innings can last no more than 120 overs a side, while the following has been increased from 150 to 200 runs. But this one I don't quite get. The new ball becoming available after 90 overs, 10 overs later than normal.
That's probably to encourage spinners a bit longer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you're encouraging spin bowlers to bowl a bit more, then the seamers might not come back. They then don't bowl the overs. If they don't bowl the overs, the good thing is that they don't have the stress fractures.
Yeah.
Look, it's taken us a little while to start the season. I, like everyone, like all your studio guests, I love the game. I love county cricket. And I welcome the return of it this coming Saturday with 9 fixtures across the UK. But I would also like to say there was a chance of an opportunity to play a combined county, so things like Kent and Essex, or Middlesex and Essex, Surrey and Kent, Sussex and Hampshire, and then you would have put the talent together. Now, the good thing about that is, what people haven't realised is that there's going to be some very poor bowling attacks around, because there are no overseas here, there are not many Colbacks here, and you have 2 huge squads of England players which take a load of bowlers out, both in red ball and white ball, who are not going to be playing for their counties. So it is my firm guess that we're going to see depleted attacks, and you're probably going to see, and people will love this, Alistair Cook will book in for bed and breakfast, have an evening meal with a glut of runs, and he will probably average 50 to 60 and score about 600 runs this month, and maybe Essex can get into the Lord's final for that 5-day in October. Wouldn't be surprised, because they've basically got their full team. They've got their Colpacks, or their lads who have qualified as English, and the only one they lose is Dan Lawrence.
No, Dan's back playing.
No, I think he's been seconded now as one of the reserves for the Test.
Has he been seconded back to the Test squad? I wasn't sure.
Yes, I think you'll find he now is lost to Essex for the Tests while against Pakistan.
He played for Chingford, didn't he, on Saturday?
Yeah, but didn't they all play some cricket? I think Adam Wheater played at Frinton, and I think I'm led to believe he may have got run out for not many.
He did.
And then in the practice game against Kent, he ran himself out for not many there either.
Wheats he'll get going, Wheats, one way or another.
Chelmsford had a decent 11. They had Aaron Beard, they had Sam Cook.
They got skittled for...
Did I hear somewhere that Simon Harmer turned out for them as well?
Did he?
I can't confirm that. But
he missed the game against Kent. He's had a little niggle, which I think has been in the public domain. But he will be back. I think it's partly to do with his calf, but I think you'll find he'll be playing on Saturday, which will all be live with Glenn Speller on BBC Essex from 11 o'clock.
And again, just to remind listeners, if you want to tune in, it is... via BBC Essex on the digital. It's via BBC Essex on the website. You've got an app as well, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So BBC Sport app, you get all the games on that as well. Right. Very, very good app, isn't it? It is,
and of course, if you go online, you can get the footage from Essex, not Essex TV. That's
Essex will broadcast through their website.
Broadcast the play, and underneath it is the BBC radio commentary.
Or through YouTube as well, don't they? Essex, they broadcast it as well that way. So
it's a great service, and it's probably the way to go. It probably is. I mean, the gentlemen of our age probably don't fully understand the whole IT fraternity, but I think this is the way for youngsters and things like that, so we might well see more of it.
Well, I think most of the grounds that looks like they're being used, I think they're all grounds that do have a streaming service.
And some have invested in additional cameras.
Yeah, Surrey certainly at the Oval have gone a bit more upmarket with their cameras. Somerset have as well, haven't they? So it should. The only one I'm not sure is where the Leicester-Lancashire game is being played. I think they just announced it, didn't they?
It's at New Road.
It's at New Road, so that may or may not be streamed, but that'll be about the only one that isn't. If it's not, I think all the other 9 games will also be streamed as well. So
that's right. It's quite interesting. Yeah, do you remember last year Essex were due to play at Worcester against Warwickshire?
That's right.
And like this Lancashire-Leicester game, which is a home game for Leicester, but at New Road, Worcester, people are saying, God, I'd like to have that scorecard because it's a new, unique scorecard.
Yeah.
It's a bit like saying at the West Ham ground, Arsenal and Tottenham are playing. Well, actually, because there's no crowd, there won't be any scorecards produced.
I've never heard Don Topley talk about football before.
Oh, you?
No.
I support Colchester United nil. And they got a new manager. They got a new manager.
is it the guy from Malden's gone up there?
Steve Ball.
The old Wolves player.
Sorry?
Wolves.
No, not the old rough number 9 who used to score and goal hang and score for them for years. No, I had his bubblegum card, I think, along with someone like Derek Dugan. Do you remember him?
Yeah, with the big moustache.
Yeah, that's right. Very sad news about Jack Charlton.
Yes.
He was one of my sort of, when I was a kid, I used to like...
War Jackie.
Leeds have had a bad year with losing several of their legends, but obviously a great year in going up as well.
Yeah,
Norman Hunter passed away, didn't he?
Good to see him back.
Yeah, it is, yes. I hope their fans behave.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure. Well, that's if anyone.
Well, it's the Brentford fans I'm worried about if they pull it off.
Don, are you hoping that we should be getting some fans in before the T20?
Yeah, you read one paper one day and another paper the next. They have contrasting ideas. Look, I firmly believe, and then there was a hope that we could get a few in. Even, I mean, it's great that the Oval had 1,000 and Birmingham did, and they're going to probably welcome 2,500. I think the Test match grounds, it's easier to manage. Bless old the county ground, Cloud FM county ground at Chelmsford. One of the issues there is it's small exit gates. There's only 2. There's small amount of loos. You can't huddle around the loos. Where are there going to be confectionery stalls and refreshments available? Look, I think it's really more challenging at the small county grounds. 2,500 people in a ground like that, you notice it. I mean, Essex are so well supported, they get 2,000 most championship games.
They'd have to restrict it to sort of maybe 500 to 800 to start off with, but...
Can I chuck in a bit of a naughty question?
Of course.
But I know you like naughty questions.
I will answer it with full sincerity.
Being conspiratorial about this, do you think that the impact of COVID-19, the impending Damocles sword, to use Richard's wonderful terminology, of the 100, and the general logistics and the direction that cricket seems to be going in, do you think this is all pointing towards a big reduction in the number of first-class counties, that we are going to see what Colin Graves was driving throughout his controversial tenure, that it will come down to basically being test grounds with the others being relegated to also rounds and the game's future?
There will be a few who would say Toppers wants that. I really, really don't.
Oh, I know you don't. Yeah.
Look, first things first, we don't know what's going to happen in the future organically. Look, Billericay Cricket Club, all the local cricket clubs financially under pressure, but as are the 18 county cricket clubs. Some are wealthier, some are not quite. Organically, you might find 1 or 2 drift away. Without the support of the ECB, undoubtedly a number would have, and a number are close. but we're already into the second half of this year, the second income from the new TV deal. Can I turn your question around and suggest that the 100, and it's not just the 100, it's the new broadcast deal which involves the 100, it actually is helping to save some already, and the counties have already received their second instalment of payment from this new TV deal. So without that, I ask you where we would be. I sincerely hope 18 to continue to survive. This new broadcast deal will help that, but there is certainly no guarantee with this COVID-19. Look, aren't one or two suggesting that we're worried about a second wave coming across from Europe now?
There are rumours, isn't there? I mean, it seems to be, depending on who you want to read, and that is...
Of course.
Some people are saying it's still isolated patches and it can still be controlled if people act sensibly in that, so hopefully that won't happen.
With the imminent arrival of county cricket, the Bob Willis Trophy on Saturday, even us mere mortals of broadcasting from the ground, we have to go through a strict process. And look, it would be so easy to get something wrong. You can't afford it. Jofra Archer showed you that. The consequences of getting things wrong. Can you imagine? Let's just say I was irresponsible and took the virus into the county ground. The place would have to be deep cleaned. Maybe Essex would be stopped playing. Maybe the ground would be completely abandoned and would have to have a full deep clean. The consequences are enormous. We still, and I have to say the royal we, and I hope, and I really mean this, and I don't like the idea, but we all still have to take some responsibility.
Now, we do. With this new tournament being called the Bob Willis Trophy, and a very nice way to celebrate the life of good old Bob. Have you got a few words or reminiscences about the great man and your?
Yeah, I have, both good and interesting.
Yeah.
You may recall, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but I once took a catch for England, Botham-esque or Stokes-esque. Maybe I was ahead of my time. But he was the bowler, the purveyor of the ball, which Marshall hooked, and I took it one-handed. Well, it was just before lunch, and if you ever look at the replay and have the chance, it was recently shown on BBC again.
Yeah.
Bob Willis had the teapot on, and believe me, he gave me a little bit of a telling off when we got back to the pavilion and into the England dressing room, the home dressing room. He said, why didn't you just chuck it up in there and run in? And I'd been selling scorecards 20 minutes simply before I took that catch. But what I did...
Not even an England kit?
Yeah. No, not in those days. I used to have the MCC Young Cricketers kit.
Yeah.
They gave me, if you can remember, the old Cornhill Insurance maroon tie to celebrate the West Indies here. They kindly presented me one at the end of the day. But Bob Willis, whenever we played Warwickshire in those days, when I say we, the senior pros, the Gooches, the Fletchers, McEwens, the people like that would go out with Bob Willis for a curry, and I would tag on. And I would just be living and listening to every word they would say as a young cricketer, because that's what we did in those days, and it was a wonderful, wonderful education.
Not a bad collection of cricketers to be sat learning your trade off.
No, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Don, I've got to ask all you BBC Essex guys, are you having a bit of an argument who's going down to Arundel? Because that should be a lovely few days with...
Correct, and of course it's another one of those strange games where Hampshire are hosting at Arundel, the beautiful Duchess Lavinia of Norfolk's ground, Lavinia. They're hosting their county game against Essex there. I think I'm doing a couple of days there. We will be showing it around. Hopefully we will be entertaining you. We haven't seen the schedule, except Glenn Speller, the boss, is with his dulcet tones are on Saturday, and I'm there Sunday.
Fantastic.
That should be good.
And I still think Alistair Cook will be batting on the Sunday.
You never know. Don, thank you very much for the time as ever. Great scenes, great speaking to you, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very, very shortly.
And we'll listen to you on Saturday or Sunday. Exactly.
Be listening. I'll be in the van at the Click store. I'm in the nice van Sunday. It's got digital radio, so I'm well away. So I'm all over it. I'll be there.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Cheers, Don.
Take care, Don. All the best.
Keep well.